I have huge, passionate fond memories, because we lived in Ilkley in Yorkshire, and in the Grove there was WHSmith's, and there was a library there, a wonderful library, and my mother was a complete bookaholic, and so as a child I was taken down there, and it was called the library. I mean, we went to the library. Smith's was the library. I mean, it wasn't any public library. It was Smith's, and she got all her favourite novels, and I wandered around looking to all the horse books, because I was a horse little girl, and it was sort of home to me, because this was where my mother was happy, and she got all the best books out, and always they somehow always looked after books in a wonderful way.
I worked at Smith's in Wimbledon when I was 16 and 17 years old. It was my first ever paid job, and I was a Christmas temp, and I remember working the tills. So yeah, I do have good memories, because WHSmith used to pay me a wage.
I used WHSmith when I was at Oxford University all the time. I always used to find it as a bit of an excuse for sort of getting up from, I used to do a lot of research or study in the Bodleian Library, and I'd get up and think, I really need a new pen. I mean, honestly, I just think my handwriting is so much better. And also, of course, there's a big book section. But then my children, when I was bringing my children up, we're going to WHSmith in Truro. It's the same sort of thing. It was a bit like, there's lots of stuff for them to buy, children's books and, paints and crayons and things, but lots of things for me to buy too.
I remember WHSmith for everything, really. Paper, stationery, cards, wrapping paper, sort of those wonderful bound books, exercise books. I used to get all my school exercise books and things from there. So it's always been a huge part of my life, and I'm delighted to be working in conjunction with them now.
I agree. I mean, WHSmith has been part of the fabric, of British society, really, high street society, for as long as anyone can remember. And yeah, it's cool, isn't it, to be involved with them?
It's back to school, isn't it? It's kind of like pencil cases and rulers and compasses.
But what I particularly enjoy about it now, about going into WHSmith's now, since we started the book club, when we've got a collection of books out, one of the seasonal collections, it's obviously there are big cardboard cutouts of me and her in the window and all that, and in the shop and everything. And it is funny if you go in, not to one of my local ones where they know me, but into a WHSmith somewhere else in the country, and and the double take that you get from the girl on the cash on the till, or the bloke on the till, you get this double take. It's almost as if the life-size cardboard cutout has come to life. It's walking around the shop. You get some very fun. And I get a kick out of that, because it is funny. It is funny, and they do this real double take. But yeah, it's. Well, long may it continue. It gives us huge pleasure, doesn't it?
Enormous pleasure, and I'm really, really glad of its success. Because I think we've managed to sell, on behalf of authors and publishers everywhere, a lot of books.
At the end of the summer holidays, when Mum would take us to WHSmith, we'd have to get the ruler, the new pencil case, because it's compulsory to have a new pencil case for each new year, and yeah, just sort of stocking up on everything that I needed for the school year.
As a special treat, my parents would let me go to the big WHSmiths in Nottingham and buy a book, and I remember going downstairs into this huge area where the books were all on sale, and a lot of my education took place in WHSmith's, and I can still remember the excitement of the books that I bought there. Particularly, I remember I went through a phase of Georges Simenon's Maigret stories, which they used to have the green spine paperback Penguin Crime. I associate those with WHSmith, so I have a lot of happy memories of buying books at Smith.
Recently, it was the only bookshop in my very small town, and so pretty much every week me and my kids would be in there either trawling the books or trying to get them to put down the Terry's chocolate oranges. So it has been a pretty regular thing in my life for the last 18 years.
I left school at 16 and I worked in a gin distillery in Islington, and I left school with 5 O-levels, but I wanted to write write novels, I wanted to write journalism, I wanted to write non-fiction. I just knew that was the one thing that I was halfway good at. So my education stopped as soon as they left the school gate slightly ajar. But I was educated really by the books that I bought religiously at WHSmith on Liverpool Street Station. So I would shuttle between Billericay in Essex, which was where I grew up, and the gin distillery on the City Road in Islington. And many hours spent on trains reading paperbacks that I bought at WHSmith. So it's a magical name to me. I mean, I've been lucky enough to write books that have been bestsellers and sold in millions even. But really, my fondest memory of WHSmith is the one on Liverpool Street Station that gave me an education and endless hours of entertainment.